Hi, beautiful people. Haladipolo Atosin here once again, your girl child advocate. Today's episode is going to be more of an unusual topic that is also related to the girl child, but something I'm so excited to discuss with you about. Coincidentally, is my 10 years wedding anniversary. I just thought to share, few things my marriage has actually taught me in the last 10 years. I wouldn't even say the lesson started from the marriage itself, but then I have let me say, a background to the study kind of story. Basically, it started from when I've been a girl child, the kind of home I grew up from, what I see my parents doing, and the kind of environment I lived in, the kind of church we attended actually added up to what I see, the way I view my marriage in the next few years, even as a child. The kind of home I came from, my parents had a cordial relationship, and of course, by the grace of God, my dad is a man of one wife, and all of these things shaping my mentality about marriage. So then, I can remember as a child, the kind of people that we are surrounded with also helped to shape my mentality about marriage itself. The kind of church I attended, and the kind of people I see in the church, and the way I see couple, and everything they do, help in shaping the kind of marriage and the kind of marital life I wanted, even as a girl child. So I discovered that those period, my church is a kind of church that is very keen about, having a good life, having, being settled in all spheres of life, including your health. That's my church for you. I attended Christ Church by the grace of God. But then the kind of people around me and the kind of pastors we have, the kind of professional life they built, all of these things up shaping my life, even as a girl child. Then I also want to add to the fact that there was one of my aunties that helped to to make this better for me. Her name is Auntie Kemi. Auntie Kemi helped me, as a girl, as a child. I studied a lot of things around me, and I saw that the kind of male friends that she has, they're not just ordinary male friends. They are well-disciplined ones. They are the ones that they are focused and they understand where they're going to realize. All of these things helped in shaping how I see life and how I really wanted to live my life when it comes to like relationship wise. Someone also helped to my mom, and someone very dear to me too also taught me about prayers while I was growing up. So a lot of time when they are praying, when we are asked to pray, I'll be like, what am I praying for? Am I not just a child? But then I discovered that those prayers also worked. So never underestimate the powers of prayer. That's number one. Number two, in this my short background to the study, another thing is be careful of the kind of people you surround your children with, even as a child when they are growing up. Because all of these things will help to shape how they see life, what they want from life, and what's the expectation from life. While I was in courtship, we had mentors, and even while in the marriage, even till now, we had our mentors, and all of these things have helped, and has also helped us to, it has helped us to grow as a couple. So back to my lessons, 10 lessons in the last 10 years. My own lessons that marriage has taught me in the last 10 years. This is not a generalized lessons, please. Note this. It's just my own personal lesson that marriage has taught me so far. Number one, love is not enough for marriage. Yeah, love is not enough for marriage, but love is everything. It's very good for you to, have a God-fearing spouse, a God-fearing partner, the one who loves the Lord. I'm a Christian, so I will lay emphasis on the love of Christ. So it's very keen to have someone who loves God deeply, wholeheartedly, can do anything for God as your spouse. Why? Because once they love God, definitely they will love you. I'm also a deep and ardent lover of Christ. Same with my husband. So it makes loving ourselves so easy. But then I discovered that love is not enough. It requires commitment. Despite the fact that some things might happen, but then it takes a high level of commitment to say, no matter what you do, I'm committed to you. Even when you offend me, I'm highly committed to you. So that's why I said Love is not enough, but love is everything. Love is a daily choice. Like you need to choose yourself over and over again. So this is just to tell us that love is not a feeling. It's not a feeling when it comes to marriage. It's something that you need to show daily through your daily actions. Marriage is not just a relationship, but then it's a covenant. It's a covenant between your spouse, yourself, and God. So you see the reason why love is everything, because God Himself is love. Mhm. God Himself is love. So love is not enough, but love is everything. So love should cover all of your spouse's offenses around you, whatever they do around you. That's the first lesson marriage has taught me. Communication is also everything. Communication is everything in the sense that there are so many misunderstandings that can be resolved with an ideal communication. There are different kinds of communication. In my early years of marriage, I think the first 2-3 years, I suffered this a lot. I'm the only girl child in my home, and a lot of time when I say, "Oh, let me do this, let me do this," I've forgotten. Maybe for the first 2-3 years, I forgot that I've left my parents' house. Because even there are times I will be in my husband's house, and I'll be calling my junior brother, thinking he's around. So, but then communication is everything in the sense that there are times that those days I'm telling my husband to do something for me, and I want it done that time. I want it done immediately, and I'm like, it's more or less like I'm imposing my opinion on him. I've forgotten that he's an adult, and he doesn't do that to me. So that's unfair on my part. If you ask me, that's unfair on my part. But then it took the Holy Spirit to help me understand this. It took me a lot of time to sit down, to pray about it, and to tell God what exactly is really happening. I must not lie. There are sometimes I feel like, is this really it? But then it was because it was the way and manner of at which I was handling things that was making me to think that way. So at some point I learned how to speak gracefully to my husband, because a lot of times I feel like, oh, you want to do this, you want to do this, and it doesn't work that way. Especially men has ego, and they like the ego to be rubbed as much as they like, to a very large extent. So it's something that they really want. But then you as a female, you must learn how to talk gracefully, communicate effectively. And I love to shout. Oh my goodness, I can shout for Africa. And my husband does not like shout. And please don't blame me. When I was growing up, my mother shouts a lot, so I'm used to shouting. But in my husband's case, he grew up with a woman that doesn't. You can really hear everything she wants to talk about. So can you understand now? The two of us are coming from two different words. So that's like, I feel like it's until I shout that I'm communicating. But then shouting is pissing him off. Is even how do I explain this? I would say it's turning him off. It naturally turned him off because he's not even listening to me, and I'm not also communicating at the same time. So shouting does not work for him. So I need to learn how to deliberately, speak to an adult, not just an adult, my husband. Oh, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying. It was like everything has started working out like a magic. And then it was just because I learned how to gracefully communicate with him. So you see, no matter how little it is, I don't think there's anything I don't communicate like that does not require communication in marriage. For me, like I said, all of these things are my own personal experience, my personal lessons, what marriage has taught me personally. For me, communication is everything for me. Once I communicate it properly with my husband, I don't have a problem. The same thing with him. Once I communicate it properly with me, we don't have a problem. There was a time in that first 3-4 years of my marriage that I was trying to live independently in my marriage. Is it possible to live independently? How do I explain it? Like, maybe there's an issue, and instead of me to express myself, I will not start sucking around. And unfortunately, this guy does not even see me. He does not even understand the fact that he doesn't like. While I'm sulking, he does not even understand. Like, truthfully, It's not that he's deliberately doing that to hurt me. No, he does not even know that I'm even sulking. So, but then I will start sulking around. I'll be like, don't you see that? I'll be like, I didn't say anything. I was even thinking that you were. I'll be like, how can I be man, bitch? So, I had to talk to myself one day. Person, you have to stop punishing yourself. You really have to stop punishing yourself so that you can communicate effectively. So that helped me. So anytime, no matter how small it is, I've learned to communicate effectively, and that has helped me in my marriage. I would also like to say, not getting to know who my husband is at the early years of my marriage, I say it affected me. I think I entered the marriage with some kind of expectation. Myself and my husband met in the church. Quick story. We met in the church, so he was part of the council member. I was also in the choir, and according to him, he saw me while I was singing, and his nickname was Pastor. Even could call him Pastor. But then I wasn't looking at him like that, because part of the question I asked him was, I also I would really love it. I love to call him by his name directly, because I want to just flow with him while we're having a conversation. This I cherish so much, because it will help me to have a smooth conversation, not kind of a thing, So and he was comfortable with it. But if he's not comfortable with it, definitely I won't be comfortable with it too. But then he was comfortable with it, thank God. And but I've forgotten that he he is who he is, apart from the church, apart from every other thing attached to him. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Apart from his work, so there's kind of, is it a pedestal that I put him on? I had certain expectations. Let me put it that way. I'm always thinking that whenever anything happens between both of us, that she like I'm always thinking that I'm just the only one experiencing this. But then I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So it took me time to understand who he is, so that I'll be able to know how to deal with him as an individual that he is. So I was listening. I think this will make me digress a little. I was listening to a podcast between Bidemi Olaoba and Oh My God recently, and they were talking about few things, they're talking about few things that about relationship, marriage, and the likes. So Ima was saying that part of the things that helped him was that the wife, out of the ladies that he has dated, it was his wife that only saw him as Ima, not as not as, oh, the almighty Ima that comes to sing, with all the vibes and like. So I think it's high time. It helps. I think it helps. I think it also, until I had that brain reset that, oh, this is who he is, apart from every other thing that comes with him, his academic achievements, and every other thing that comes with him, his church assignments and responsibilities, and a lot of things that surround him as an individual. So I needed to detach everything that surrounds him from his individuality. So it helped me to have a smooth journey with him. So the fourth thing a marriage has taught me is that patience produces peace, and growth takes time. And giving each other room to learn and mature is highly priceless. There are some times in my marriage that I felt because I was married. Let me just say, this whole journey of before you get married, the kind of lessons, the kind of books, the kind of teachings you've experienced, and the kind of teachings we're having now, a lot of them, it's a lesson to be learning, to relearn, to unlearn, and some of them we need to be learning. There are some things that we learned then that I later unlearned in the course of my marriage, because then the mentality I had was, is that I need to do practically everything with my husband. Like practically everything with my husband. But then I now later discovered that it doesn't work that way. Guess what? We don't stay in the same location. He comes on weekends, and there's sometimes I want to do some things, and I feel like we need to be around. Please note, there's nothing I want to do that this guy does not support. Like my husband supports virtually everything I want to do. Gives all his support. When he's available, he's available. But when he's not available, I will see it that he's not available. Like me, I will see it and I will know that he's not available. But then, I used to feel like, he should try and make himself available. Like, but then I used to think he's doing it deliberately, but he's not. Trust me, he wasn't. He wasn't doing all of those things deliberately. If he's available, I practically knew that he's going to be around for me. And the fact that when whatever I want to do, he shows the support. Should let I should know. I should have known that. Of course, this person truly, truly loves me and understand what I'm doing. But then I still want to have all of him to myself, and I just want to know everything I want to do. It should be my dear, you have a life after marriage too. That's another lesson I've learned as a woman. You should learn to have a life outside marriage. Then, yeah, I knew that I had a life outside marriage, but then, you know, I feel I never knew that, as a girl, I should still not leave my girlies to explore, to enjoy, to enjoy ourselves and have fun when we want to. Sometimes you just want to have that me time to yourself, and it's just you can't have me time alone. Like somewhere away from your husband, you should not lose those moments. You should not lose it. You should not lose it. You should not lose it. They are priceless too. And they're something that you will love and cherish. Because there's something about female friends, though I have a very few female friends, but then trust me, these guys, I don't take them for granted. They know themselves. They know themselves. But when it comes to my female friends, who my husband knows, like a lot of them knows, they also know my husband too. So but they like practically two or three of them grew up together with myself and my husband. So we know ourselves so well. So what am I trying to say in essence is don't lose yourself in marriage. There's more to you more than that marriage. And also there's also more to you more than the how do I explain it? More than you and your husband. Like there's a life for you. Thank you. So another thing, that's the fifth point I would like to mention is never be ashamed to do anything for your partner. Be unapologetic about doing things. In fact, if possible, everything, as much as your ability, capacity, and your effort can take you. Please, I think it helps. It helps to strengthen the bond. For me, I'm unapologetic about doing things for my husband, and the same thing it is for him. I don't mind where we are. I don't mind how we are. I feel I'm responsible to him, and he feels the same. He's responsible to me. Like even when sometimes I can be so naughty. I cannot even lie. I am so naughty. But even it might be naughty. You will say, oh, maybe I had a prior misunderstanding. You're like, oh, um, sorry, are you feeling better now? So this is your drug. Take this as the money. Take this in the afternoon. I'm like, can't you see that I'm not happy with you? But this guy does not care. He feels he's committed to me, and I'm also committed to him. And I do the same too. I'm a lover girl. You don't even want to know. So be unapologetic about doing things for your spouse. If possible, do everything and anything you can. Why? Because if you don't, who will?